Okay, it's time to talk about the first Descendants. So I played my first hour after the tutorial yesterday, and I got some feelings about it. And excuse me for looking so distraught. I literally just woke up like 30 minutes ago. First thing I want to talk about is the art style slash art direction. I bring a lot of comparisons to it. I always think of Outriders because looter shooter obviously, and I always think of Warframe because it has almost the same system with the primes as they do with the ultimate versions of their descendants. I don't have access to any of the ultimate descendants yet, so I'm not going to really talk about gameplay wise them, but I will talk about how they look. When I looked at every character yesterday, I thought they looked amazing. Sure, Le Epic looks pretty bland. I think there was another guy who looked pretty bland. I think his name was like J-Pin or something like that. I don't know. He's like one of the first like 4 or 5 descendants when you go into your like descendant selection screen or tab thing. Like they just, I don't know. They are the only two that look bland. Other than that, every other character looks amazing. Ajax and his ultimate versions are the most Giga Chad looking people I have ever seen. Like, I don't think anything else can top that. Ultimate Viesa, the Frost chick, oh my god, the helmet design on her is so freaking cool. I like the little, like, I guess you could say Egyptian reference they have with the little Anubis mask they got going on. And I like how it connects to her shoulder pieces too. I don't know why we don't have more drip like that in any type of like media. Like I would like to have my headgear kind of like blend into my shoulder pads. That would be amazing. Other than just specific drip on individual characters, I think the characters look amazing so far. I mean, I've seen the skins that they have for the characters. I mean, it is technically pre-season for the game. They can be more impressive, I could just tell already, but as of right now, the skins that they have, it's mostly just catering to a couple, I think, personal favorites of the devs. I think this chick's name's Valdi. She's like the water chick. Dude, her skins, bro, she has the same exact skins as everybody else, but for some reason hers look the best. Every skin they have so far for Valdi looks amazing. Bunny, same thing. She's the poster child for the game. And for some reason VS is getting a lot of skins too. That's what I peeped. But I want to say that the art direction is pretty good skin wise. But when now we go into the enemy design, I gotta bring it back a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, I could care less for the enemy design. It kind of feels bland in a way. I don't know, it doesn't stand out to me like other games. When I think of enemy design, I think of most recent memory, I'm thinking of Stellar Blade because the enemy design in that game really set a bar for me, at least for this year, because dude, that game was just different. I think the enemy designs in Stellar Blade were so unique and didn't really remind me of any other enemy design in any other game. Now, when I look at First Descendants, I don't get that same feeling. Honestly, it feels more, I guess you could say, it checks the boxes. I think that's the word I'm gonna go with. It checks the boxes, and also just the world. I guess you could say in that first area, Kingston, Jamaica. It's alright. You know, it's not the best looking place, but I think it's okay. It kind of reminds me of the EDZ in Destiny 2. That's what it reminds me of. A lot of broken down buildings, not as much as the Cosmodrome, but it looks just like the EDZ. And with that, I can actually say it brings me a little bit of nostalgia of playing Destiny. At the same time, nothing really sticks out to me as much. So I might give the art style kind of like a 4.5, you know? Not a strong one, but a 4.5. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it checks the boxes. Now to go on to gameplay. Now, this is where I feel like a lot of people are gonna kind of give me a thumbs down on. As of right now, I think the gameplay is very average, but it shows promise. You know, when it comes to shooting the weapons themselves, the gunplay is fine. It's okay. It's not the most exciting thing ever, and I feel that way with playing Warframe too. I'm not really like a fan of Warframe's gunplay. You know, like of course they have their crazy weapons that just like do an insane amounts of damage, and seeing those damage numbers pop up is really satisfying too. But I could really care less about that. So shooting the weapons themselves, it's all right. It kind of separates itself from other games. I think it's a little better than Warframe, not by that much. If I was to do it on like a 1 out of 10 scale, you know, Warframe would be like a cool, I guess you could say 7 or like a 6, and I think First Descendants would be either a half point or a full point above it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me personally, but I kind of like the gunplay in First Descendants way better than Warframe. That's where I think a lot of people might not like that opinion. You know, for Warframe, your abilities are so overpowered and your melee weapons are so cool looking with the animations. You know, it's like I don't really get the opportunity to use my weapons as much. So the weapons I do use, I'm not as excited. You know, there are like select weapons in Warframe that are really cool, like the Acceltra, but if I'm talking about basic weaponry, I like the First Descendants a lot. Now, when it comes to switching the weapons, that's when I have a little issue on because I think it switches a little too slow. I'm sure there's like some type of modification that you could put on your actual Descendant itself to be able to switch weapons faster, but as of right now, I don't know anything about it. And I think the weapons swap too slow and the ready speed is way too slow. I think I have a clip like showing myself switching between a shotgun, jumping in front of like a very, I guess you could say, beefy enemy, and it just takes forever to pull out that shotgun and shoot it, man. I don't know what it is, but it's just I feel like a slug when I was doing it. It didn't feel satisfying at all, and it just really turned me off on that part. Other than that, I think the abilities themselves for the Descendants, at least from when I was using it on the one character that I have, it was pretty exciting. I liked it. It's not as cool as Warframe, and you know what? I don't want to say it's a little worse than Outriders because it's been a while since I've played it, but I think Warframes is a little better. Like, obviously Warframe is definitely like a 9 out of 10, like with their abilities and how they look and how they perform. And I think when I was playing with Viessa, the Frost chick, I think the abilities were just mid. You know, the way that we're showing in the character trailers, it doesn't feel the same. Maybe I'm not using like the mods, like I was saying before, for the weapons. Maybe I'm not using the right mods or something, or maybe there's a mod that I don't know about that I haven't gotten yet that makes them a little better. I know there are like modules that increase your power damage and range. I'm hoping there's a way that'll actually make it look like how it did in the character trailer when I watched it 2 days ago. So hopefully that'll change in the future. It is in the beginning of its life cycle, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it, but I will give an honest opinion on my first look into it. Now, next thing I want to go on to is performance. The game's performance, I seen the turmoil on Twitter. Xbox users are apparently 50-50. It's either really amazing or it's not good at all. PlayStation 5 owners are going through it. Apparently they're just crashing at every moment. For me, I had no issues. I think one time I had a huge lag spike. I think that was the only time. I think I have it on clip here, but for me, the game ran perfectly fine. I put it on full screen, unlimited frames, VSync off like usual. The game was running okay. I had no issues. My frames barely ever skipped. And this is impressive for a game that literally first day out with AAA quality. Oh, well, I would like to say AAA quality. I'm not sure. But I think this game is AAA quality. And the fact that it came out in the state that it did, on PC, by the way, barely any problems, I think that's pretty good. Not even server connection issues, in my opinion. Like, that's insane. That, honestly, you got to give props to them for that. Like, that's actually pretty good. But I also want to go on to the voice acting. I'm not really familiar with the dev company that made First Descendants. I think they're not American or at least European. Maybe I'm not doing my research right, but it could be a Korean company because I think I seen some tweet where like they're saying like Korean companies are up this year because of gaming. So I'm going to go into this opinion under the influence that this is a Korean made game. The voice acting, it seems weird in a sense because the lips don't line up, and I'm guessing that's because the game was originally designed to speak Korean. It's not that big of an issue, but when you go into like cutscenes and stuff like that and you see them talk, it's very minimal. And I think that's because they know that the lips don't line up with the actual characters talking in different languages, or maybe they just didn't have the budget to pay them to talk that much. I don't know what the issue was. I just know that the voice acting is it's a 3, admittedly. The voice acting is a 3 or 4. I think the person who has the most life to their character so far that I've seen was Bunny. But I mean, that's the poster child. I'm going to expect her to be the best character, or at least the most flawed out character. Obviously, beginning of the game's life cycle, they can always update the game with more voice lines as the game progresses on in its life. People are going to spend money on the skin packs. I already seen this one guy buy the maid cafe skin for one of their characters. So there's people buying those expensive ass currencies. And that's my next thing I'm going to talk about, the currency packs. So when I made that video yesterday talking about how I don't want them to make like $20 to $30 skins, guess what these guys did? They made $20 skins. And in a way, I kind of knew already that they were going to do that. But it's like, I didn't really think they were actually going to do that. And I understand it to an extent to where it's a free game. They need to make their money somehow. But man, it's just getting the currencies is just rough, man. You're telling me 1,000 coins is $20? I'm not gonna lie. I would be more inclined to get the 1,000 coins if it was $10. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually spend it $20 to get 2,000 coins. I would actually feel more inclined to do that than spending $20 to get half of that. I'm not gonna even lie too. I would have bought the skins if the 1,000 coin pack was $10, I would have bought it and got the character pack. I would have. But guess what? I'm not going to do it because it's $20, you know? And the fact that you can actually grind for these characters too, it's like there's not really much incentive to purchase when it costs that much. Now, I was going to buy 2 character packs because I wanted to play as Valdi and Freyna because obviously, Valdi has some of the best skins, and honestly, I think her powers are pretty cool. And Freyna, I mean, I'm already claiming her as one of my people, so it's like, the fact that they're in 2 separate character packs kind of sucks, but understandable. Yeah, the voice acting is just rough. I hope they do end up updating it, so we'll see in the future. Other than that, I think what I want to say about the overall experience about this game, I think I'm going to say it's a strong 6.5, a very strong 6.5. I'm not going to give it a 7. I think there are better games, but in my opinion, I think what game for me is a little bit above it is Lost Ark. That was another, I think it was a Korean game or a Chinese game. I think it's like a little bit below Lost Ark. Lost Ark was very promising, just like I think about the First Descendants. I think the First Descendants is really promising. If they actually support this game like they were the first day out, dude, oh my God, I had post noties on for First Descendants. I swear to God, there was like 12 tweets yesterday just from their Twitter account, literally communicating with the community, talking about how, hey, we've seen this issue, we're gonna patch it. First Descendants, I bought the ultimate pack for one of the characters and I didn't get my currency with it. There's an issue, and they're like, yo, we're on that. You're gonna get your currency in a few hours. Like, bro, the communication was on point. If they continue this game could actually have a community with it. And honestly, I'm down for that. Although I don't see myself playing this in 2 months' time, considering what it is right now, if they do update it, I can see myself playing this game and actually dedicating time to play this game and grind. Because I really love Warframe. I've played Warframe for the past 11 fucking years. If this is anything like Warframe, how it is already with the ultimate versions of characters, which is just prime access, or how like you can actually get the materials to build Descendants just like Warframe, and I feel like they said that the crafting time was also similar to Warframe 2. Dude, I'm telling you, I will put time and money into this game if they put the updates necessary to make this game better. But as of right now, I don't see myself playing this in 2 months' time, and I do feel like it is a strong 6.5 out of 10. Those are my opinions for today. People might not enjoy it. I understand that. Also, I want to talk about the grappling hook, because the grappling hook is very different from the beta version that I played 2 years ago. I enjoy the grapple hook. I think it is amazing. I think they need to make the range a lot longer. They need to like double the range for the grappling hook because it is short as fuck. A game not having as much mobility as it does, I think the grappling hook needs to be more focused if you want to have people stay and actually have fun with your game. Maybe have like kind of how the grappling hook works for Pathfinder or how Grapple Strand works for Destiny 2. I think they should make that the grappling hook for First Descendants. I think that would work amazing with the game. Because right now, I feel so slow walking everywhere. It's not even a walk, but it's a slow run. you know, because I'm sprinting, but like it feels like a slow run. They do have a lot of fast travel points, but still, I think this game has the potential to be something special. Right now, 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna keep saying it, but I want you to know that I have promise for this game. This game can be something. This game could actually turn into a really good 8, like a really solid 8. I feel like it's one of those games at its best. It could be a game where you could put 300 hours in a month, maybe, and then leave for a couple months and then come right back and do another 300. I hope it gets to the point where I can actually just stay on this game and put 1,000 hours. But as of right now, I feel like at its peak, it can actually be something you could put a lot of hours in, leave, come back a few months later, and do the same thing. That's my opinion. That's my first experience. First hour is what I got from that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I really want to know what other people think because I know there's a lot of discourse about First Descendants right now. I already had a friend say that he does not like it. He barely got through the tutorial. He literally dropped the game. I believe he'll give it another chance now that other people are playing it, but as of right now, he's not with it. I have other friends that are saying the game is amazing. So it's very split, I feel like. You guys let me know what you think. This is what I think. And at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. That's all I got for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.